This is an original short story from Held Stories, a living archive of quiet human encounters. Held Stories, Season 1, Episode 2. He took the long way home for no reason. Typical Saturday morning, dead of winter, in a wet and rainy farming town. Frederick worked general labor. He moved heavy objects for the foreman, swept floors, ran errands from one end of the building to the other. Clean work helped him remain confident. Today was going to be full of tea, TV, and relaxation. After breakfast was fixed, he sat down before the TV to watch a relaxing series on office life. He imagined an office floor, paper instead of weight, a chair that belonged to him, learning computers and using them for work. The phone rang on his bed. 2 rings, and it stopped before Frederick could reach the phone. Frederick didn't recognize the number. He thought to wait in case it left a voicemail. Sure enough, one came through. Hey Fred, Charlie here. The bullpen, 3 p.m. today, I'm buying. See you there. Charlie was a former foreman on a job site building an office building in a neighboring town. He found his current job after Charlie took a liking to him. Going out with him always seemed like work, keeping up appearances, looking up to Charlie, fostering the belief Frederick liked his current job. All was difficult, and Frederick was convinced it showed. He returned to the TV to finish his shows. The phone rested on the table beside his chair. 3 episodes later, breakfast complete, the tea called. On the counter sat 3 tins, one for night, one for morning, and one for relaxation. He ripped open a bag for relaxation and placed it in the mug. He puts the kettle on to boil and returns to the counter. Leaning back, he remembers the 3 episodes and considers what life must be like in the big city. Nightlife makes him wonder. Loud music, so many people in one area, more drinks than he could afford. Town life appealed to him. Few people, honest work, genuine connections. Previously, when he compared the two, his boss grew stern. She followed by correcting his desires by levying what the city life was truly like. Coming from a small town is advantageous, but difficult to find your way in the city. His mind returned to the sound of the kettle boiling, not certain for how long. He poured the water in the mug, careful not to spill. Frederick pulls the drawstring to bob the tea bag up and down a few times. Reaching into the fridge for milk, he pours some into the mug. To be more comfortable, he moved back to his chair in the living room. It rested in the corner of a studio basement suite. He met his landlords a decade before moving in. Not that he was positive, but the gut feeling persisted. It is as though they built this studio apartment for him alone. Fresh paint, concrete floors, basic design of an L-shaped space. His layout lets him separate living from sleeping. The landlords were a kindly couple, not much older than he is. They worked as accountants in town, mostly agriculture business, some manufacturing. The main draw to the town was the slaughterhouse. Frederick attempted to work there but only lasted 3 days. Having a strong constitution can still be tested. He checked his watch. 12:49. No time like the present to get ready, he thought. Showering and dressing in clean clothes always felt good. After this, Frederick started priming himself for the inevitable conversation. Pacing always got the juices flowing in the right direction. Good thing for the concrete floors being so durable. Every 15 minutes he checked his watch. At the stroke of 2, he would walk to the bullpen early. This way, Charlie didn't look to be the one waiting. It wasn't expected initially, but Frederick knew it was wise to respect the man who gives you what you need. "Hi, Frederick. Is Charlie coming?" the server asked with a smile. "Yes, he should be here in..." He checks his watch. 20 minutes. "Great. Let's get you a drink. Beer or soda?" "Soda, please. Diet." The server tilts her head. "You never order any other kind, Fred. Be right back." Looking around, he took a seat where he could. The bullpen is uncommonly busy for this time on a Saturday. Despite this, he found a small table along the wall beneath the stuffed bison head. Looking around always makes him wonder what a hunter's life was like. Various stuffed animals adorn the wall. Small ones are full-bodied, larger ones are mostly just their head. Different styles of traps are littered along the roof, and the bar is where the rough go to drink their fill. Cowboys, ranchers, farmhands converge on the bar on a Saturday night. And around here, any night of the week ending in Y. Frederick was at the bar once. Charlie knew when it was appropriate to sit there. Polished brass, lacquered hardwood, intelligible expressions and lettering etched into it by knives and lighters. Stained wood along the corners in rough, driftwood-like designs. It was to Frederick this bar was transplanted from a forest town, not here. He checked his watch. It was 5 minutes until 2. Charlie is normally late, but not by much. "Here you go, Fred. Sorry for the wait. This is on me." The server smiled genuinely. She headed to the next table to take their order. While he took the occasional sip of soda, he infrequently watched the door for his old boss's arrival. "Hey, Fred," Charlie came from behind him. "Just had to use the washroom before we began." "Soda? Really? Let me buy you something stronger, eh?" "Sure, thanks, Charlie." They shook hands. "What'll it be?" "Beer and a shot of whiskey." "That's a good man. I think I'll join you." "Hey, fellas," the server returned. "What can I get you?" Charlie smiled. 2 beer, 2 shots of whiskey, and 30 wings. Salt and pepper." "Coming right up." The server finished jotting down the order and took off to her computer to transcribe. "Good thing we have the same taste in wings, Charlie," Frederick said with a smile. "Indeed. Listen, kid, I brought you here to let you know something." Charlie paused and glanced up at the bison head for a moment. "They're shutting down where you work. Apparently the owner swindled a client out of tens of thousands of dollars. Soon, their client will come to collect, if you catch my drift." "What will I do for work? And how do I leave early so I don't get stuck in the middle of this?" Frederick showed a genuine expression of shock. Charlie smiled. "There isn't anything to get stuck in the middle of. I have an opportunity for you." "Oh?" Frederick sipped his pop and leaned forward. "Yeah, I have a friend looking to get rid of his old truck. He promised all maintenance was up to date. I figured since you are handy with tools, you can go around nearby towns as a handyman." "I guess. How does that work?" "Simple," Charlie explained. "You buy the truck off my friend and he trains you as a handyman out of gratitude." "How do I know he'll follow through?" "He owes me money, like your boss owes their client. I was able to arrange terms for you. What do you say?" "Sounds like fun. I'd love my own truck." Frederick takes another sip of his soda. "When can I start?" "I love how eager you are, Fred. It's really up to the two of you." "Hey, boys," the server says as she approaches with the drinks. "Here's your fuel. The wings will still be a while. We're backed right up. Sorry, fellas." She turns to take the order at a nearby table. "Cheers to a new job and a new life for you, Fred. No more heavy lifting." They clinked their glasses together. Eventually, the server came with the wings, smiled, and carried on about her night. The two men engaged in general conversation about what a handyman is and isn't. Charlie kept everything clean for Frederick. If anyone could leave this town, it was Frederick. After 2 hours, the tough customers showed up. Charlie and Frederick shook hands and said their farewells. Lost in thought, possibilities running through his mind, Frederick considered all that just played out, fulfilling repairs, learning from someone who may very well live in fear of him. Knowing he is receiving the best training Charlie can offer made a smile lift his face. Like a trance, Frederick snapped out of it. He realized the route takes him past houses he could never afford, and he keeps walking. He knew how to handle himself. His pace quickened and his legs stiffened. He knew this showed strong intent, enough to keep people from realizing just how much he drank. His mind slipped back into the thought of owning a truck, the freedom, the responsibilities. He noticed a couple walking along the other side of the street and smiled, saw they had coffee in their hands. They were dressed for a night out, and occasional laughter erupted. That thought surprised him. He imagined his kitchen with coffee instead of tea, buying the odd dinner for Charlie instead of Charlie paying for it all the time. This brought him peace. Once arriving home, he checked the time, 5:50. Time for one more episode, then rest. Bed is calling. He remembered parts of his walk home. He remembered at the fork in the road to take the wrong turn. This led him down a different part of town. He wondered how long it would take for this road to feel ordinary. This has been Held Stories. Held Stories is maintained as a living archive at www.thesetinydimensions.com. Editions will be made available as they are prepared, for those who wish to retain them and support their preservation.